John, you haven't been around for a lot of the. I'm not sitting
No,
here.
I agree.
I'm not sitting here asking.
But the humanity part of it doesn't change. You know what I mean? The human part, it doesn't matter because I see it everywhere. It's not just here. But yeah, you're right.
And I do want to be consistent here. I want to say one final thing, that's to Clown, because I'm not here to hang out or whatever. I appreciate him letting me up on his panel, but I do believe in consistency, and I defended a constitutional due process with Ed, and I also believe in constitutional due process in the case of Clown. I have always said, as a victim myself, that calling somebody a ch0m0 means something to me.
This community, it should.
It doesn't mean a whole lot. It's every other sentence here is calling someone else a ch0m0 and a predator and a pedophile. And I do not
like. It's a buzzword now, and it's fucked. It is.
And I don't appreciate and I don't respect people that so easily use that phrase to try to smear someone that they don't like. Clown has come out with his version of what happened to him many years ago. Ed has come out with his version of what happened to him a few years ago. And I absolutely believe in constitutional due process. I don't agree with everything that Clown said afterwards. I think that's what got him in a lot of trouble. But to call Clown a ch0m0.
Yeah, but we all called him out for that, but he knows that.
Yes, but to call him a ch0m0 when the evidence I'm sorry, but whether you're scared or not, whether you're intimidated or not, us victims and survivors must be strong enough to go to court and prosecute our abusers. And the idea that some victims may feel intimidated by the process is certainly, it happens for sure. But for people to claim that Clown is guilty because the victim did not show up to court because she was scared is a possibility. But the fact of the matter is, Clown did show up to court. And the way that the court systems work is that you have to be a victim that makes appearances and have the courage and conviction to do that. And that is why prosecutors should have support networks for victims so they show up to court. But to claim that someone is guilty because the victim didn't show up because they were scared, there are a lot of children that have gone through hell to get their cases prosecuted.
But Sam, that's true, but there's another part of this that makes it nearly almost impossible that you're missing here, is that he was going through custody at that same time. And you know how that system works, right? They would have destroyed him with that if that was the case. Do you know where I'm going now? It adds to it, you know what I mean?
And I have
in his defense.
I have seen a number of cases, and for particularly men in this community who know it, and for the men in this community who I blast the most, they know it, they see it, and they live through it. To see women use their children as bait and as pawns in the domestic situation and the custody situation. And routinely we see false allegations of great fathers getting destroyed because a woman convinces their children to falsely claim sexual abuse against a great father. And so if we're unwilling to take a stand and call a lie and call a liar a liar, and if we're unwilling because we're so desperate to convict someone because we don't like them. And, I've never had a disagreement with Clown. I've never been a friend of Clown. Back and forth. I did offer him to come on my panel after this came out to explain the situation. He declined. That's fine. But I am not, whether I like him or I don't like him, I am not going to call someone a ch0m0 until the evidence suggests that it is true or he is proven in a court that it is true. And right now, there is no evidence to suggest other than someone's statement years ago that was promulgated by a girlfriend, according to Clown. Now, that is Clown's version of it. I have not heard the girlfriend or his whoever that was or the daughter or whatever. All I know is Clown's version of it. And if Clown's version is true and or generally accurate, that he broke up with someone and these accusations came thereafter, I don't find it that credible. And Clown participated in the system, and to call him a ch0m0 just because he was charged is not fair. It's not fair to him, and it's not fair to the process. And that's what I care about. I care about the fucking process. I don't give a shit about Ed. I don't give a shit about Clown. I care about constitutional due process that we all should be entitled to. And whether I get dragged for it or not, I don't give a flying fuck. So I'm not going to sit here and call Clown a ch0m0. I certainly think that we all can agree the shit that he said afterwards because he was pressed is wacky. But I did want to say that and to get my opinion out about that.
I appreciate you, Sam. I appreciate that a lot, actually. Thank you, Sam. Yeah.
You all have thanks. Have a good night.
All right, Sam. I'll see you
Love
again.
you.
No.
Love you, mommy.
I'm not going to kiss you though, so don't stop. Well, that's pretty cool. I agree with that, but
yeah, that's how I felt about
if
Ed.
Everyone
though.
keeps fucking with it. It can't work.
Well,
the system does work. You know.
That's how I felt about Ed. That's why I never fucking pressed him on that shit. I'm like, let's go through get him through the process, you know, because I went through it and I was like, you know, I keep saying the same thing, and it's just funny how it came back to bite me because I did press Ed at the end, you know, so you know, he pressed back, but he talked about my dead wife, so you know, fuck you.
Well, you're hard pressed. That's okay. Press away.
Yeah.
Press up. You press up.
And I tell people, you know, when someone's calling you a thief or calling you something you're not, you kind of spur out and say, "Oh yeah, well, how do you like it?" And you say, you know, something stupid.
When you're on the defense, it looks aggressive, and some people use that as a technique. You know what I mean? Like deliberately making accusations. You see it all the time.
They're like ch0m0, ch0m0, ch0m0. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Well, here's your ch0m0, and I said something shitty. As like, you want a ch0m0? Here's a ch0m0. Fuck you. But it was wrong.
That's basically
which was stupid, and you've owned that part. You know what I mean? It's not like you fucking